And so the pre-call stalk is actually something that's going to show them that we know them. It's going to let them know that they asked us to reach out to them, and we're not one of the other kind of spammy, sleazy people who's cold calling them. Quick disclaimer I'll give is stalking is illegal and creepy and you shouldn't do it. I'm using this in jest. The pre-call stalk is about finding a lead's information so that you can improve the call. Where can you stalk a lead? The first place is Google. Don't overthink this. You're going to go to Google, and I'm going to actually do this in real time here. You go to google.com, and let's say that I'm a lead that you captured, Chris Smith. Well, the issue is there's a 500 million results. There's congressmen, there's athletes, there's basically everybody but me because I have a very, very common name. You know, I have one of the most common names in the United States, Chris Smith. So the pre-call stalk, you can't just use the name. Now, if somebody has a unique name, go for it. But what you do is you actually just Google their email address. So I'm going to search Chris at theconversioncode.com. And now there's 250,000 results, not a 500 million. And every single one of these results is actually about me. I can go to page 9 of Google. Like nobody goes to page 9 unless they're looking to hide a body. Page 9 of Google, pick one of these random links, and it is going to be about me or my book in some capacity. Because the email address is the fingerprint on the internet. No two people have the same email address. Now, if I go back to kind of the first page of results, if you notice things like, I don't know, LinkedIn, maybe Facebook, like I'm going to pull up LinkedIn as an example. And when you go to LinkedIn and you look at somebody's profile, you're going to be able to figure out where they've worked, what school they went to. Like, if I just look at this quickly, it's like, okay, he was a national speaker for Move Inc. He was the chief evangelist for Inman. That's interesting. Chief people worker for Dotloop. And then he founded Curator. Cool. I'm ready to make my call because those are the 3 things I could use. Maybe I have a buddy that went to Florida State. Looks like you went there too. That's the whole point of this, is to keep it simple, to find information. Now, a Google search and finding social media accounts is great, but there are advanced tools. There are what you would consider pro tools. If you're going to spend $30, $40, $50 per lead, don't you think for $1 more per lead, you would like to have all of their information? Think about if you get an email and you don't have a phone number, or you have an address, but you don't have a name. That's where these more advanced tools like Spokeo come into play. Spokeo is a big data tool. There's Intellius, Spokeo, Zaba Search, but this is a tool where you can just give it one of those things and it will give you a lot of information. I'm going to do a search here, and I'm actually going to try to find information on my friend and yours, Tom Ferry. Now, my guess is that Tom Ferry, there's probably a few of those, probably not one of those, but I know a little bit about Tom. I'm going to see how much else I can find out. I'm going to see how accurate Spokeo is. Now, if you had this connected to your database, you could even pull some of this into like a spreadsheet. But the first few results here, 81, I know Tom's not 81 and I know Tom's not 27, and you can see they're sort of all over. But one thing I know about Tom is I know he used to live in California. So on the side, you could browse by location. I'm going to click on California. If you look at the top result now, it says resides in Newport Beach, related to Mike Ferry, Patrick Ferry. Well, I know that Tom's dad's name is Mike and his brother's name is Patrick. And I know he used to live in Newport Beach. So if I click see results, now all of a sudden, his email address, his phone number, his past addresses, it's offering me everything. They've even got little profiles on his family members. Hey, Tom has resided with Mike. So that is kind of the power of one of these advanced people search tools is that with just a name or just a phone number or just an address, you can gather a ton of additional information. So you can do a quick and simple Google search. You could do a more advanced search using a paid tool like Spokeo. I think the profile on Spokeo, if I go back for a moment and let's say I want to unlock Tom's profile, I want all of that information. This looks like it would be 95 cents to get the full report. So that was what I was saying earlier, $30 a lead. I'd pay $31 a lead to have all of this data as well, because that's going to obviously increase my conversion rate by improving my conversations. The place that I think most of you should go day to day, call to call, week to week to get the 3 nuggets is your CRM. Your CRM is going to have the most data, the best data. It's got notes, it's got tags, it's got categories, sources, stages, it's got user tracking. Like there's a lot of information in your CRM. So I wanted to walk you through kind of in the real world, what does this look like? So I'm in a CRM. This is one of our CRMs at Curator. It's called Follow Up Boss. And I'm going to open up Dawn Daly's profile. Okay. And the first thing I'm going to zoom in on, and every CRM has virtually the same thing here, 7 years ago. So that's when she was added to the database 7 years ago. I also see that she likes the water cooler. And I also see that she registered for one of our 21 fastest listings webinars. So this is what I'm saying. Like, you got to kind of make some choices here and pick 3 things, because there's all kinds of stuff. This actually found her LinkedIn for me. This found her Twitter, right? There's all this information. But what's really nice about actually collecting data on the leads, and this is kind of like when you have a landing page or you have a contact form, the more information, the better, if it's not going to push people away. So in this example with Dawn, I've got her zip code. Are you open to hiring a marketing agency? Yes. How many deals per year? Over 100. What's your budget? 2 to 3K. What do you need the most help with? Lead conversion and lead gen, right? So if I'm calling Dawn, I have my 3 things right there. Hey, Dawn, I can't believe you registered for a webinar 7 years ago. Looks like you attended another one last year called 21 Fastest Ways to Get Listings. I saw that you're open-minded to hiring a marketing agency. You got a $2,000 to $3,000 budget. That works for the best products and services at Curator. I know right now you're already doing over 100 deals per month, but it looks like you need some help with lead generation and lead conversion. That, my friends, is an expert following up. So whether it's a Google search or whether it's Spokeo or whether it's the data you collect from the form or the engagement that they make with the marketing, you need to collect 3 things for every single lead that you call. The goal, again, is to personalize your opening. So I'll give you an example. Let's say you have a buyer lead and let's say you have a seller lead. So I'll use the buyer lead example. And in this example, I'm making the decision to use LinkedIn database, lead source, and price or location, because you can only use so many. And so in this example, I'd say, hey, John, you probably don't remember me because we met more than a year ago. You actually were looking at a property on Zillow that was located in 90210. How are you today? So that would be in database more than 12 months. That would be lead source Zillow, and that would be location 90210. Could have done price as well. This could also be, hey, Susie, I got your information about a month ago. You registered on Facebook to look at one of our listings. The listing was $600,000. How's it going? Like, that is LinkedIn database, lead source, which was in this case a Facebook ad, and then that would have been price, which was $600,000. If we flip that, let's say it's on the seller lead side. Well, property address, if you have a seller lead, you know their address. You also should have the source of the lead. And through something like tax records, the MLS, go to Zillow, something like Spokeo, you can figure out length of ownership. So in that example, it would be like, hey, Chris, I'm calling about your property at 14742 Tanja King. I got your information from HomeLight. It looks like you guys bought the house about 5 years ago. How's it going? So that would be, again, property address, lead source, length of ownership. That is the goal of the pre-call stalk. Get dialed in on three things that make the call relevant. Now, once you're good at this, you're going to want as many leads and as many people to do this on as possible. So I do have a bonus pro tip here for you guys, and it's called Hunter. You're going to go to hunter.io, and I'm actually going to walk you guys through this. You create an account. It's free to create the account, and then you're going to add their Chrome extension. They have a free Chrome extension. Add their Chrome extension. What that allows you to do is you can now go to any website. You need to think hyper locally. What are some of the best, most influential companies locally, businesses locally, brands locally, right? So if I'm in Austin, Texas, and Tesla's got their plant there, or if I'm in Seattle and Amazon's there, like that would be kind of the mindset you would find the websites through. All I have to do is click one button. And what Hunter just did is it just found 803 results, 803 emails, and they're all accurate emails from people who work at Tesla right now. In fact, I can break it down by category. I can see people in legal versus people in finance versus marketing. I can even click on executive, and there we go. We have Elon Musk's email. We have Kyle, their CEO's email. So that is called hunter.io. And that is a tool that you can use for free. They do have a paid upgrade after you do so many searches, but I would use that strategically to find emails.